What's up, Dreamedia family? Welcome back to another episode. I'm out here high in the Rocky Mountains in Breckenridge, Colorado, and we are doing an incredible smart home, top to bottom, whole house smart home integration. Everything from shades to lighting, the audio video, home theater, outdoor entertainment, everything, including the security and networking with battery backups. Chace Williams, our regional sales manager, is on site here, guiding the guys with every single location of specifically what wire is going to future-proof this home for years to come. I'd love to bring on Chace today to give you guys a run-through of industry-leading best practices here in 2025, heading into 2026, as well as what we're doing on this beautiful property here in Breckenridge. Let's go!
Hey, Zach, thanks for bringing me on. Yeah, so we are here kind of breaking ground from our perspective on a massive renovation. So this house got ripped down to the studs, every bit of electrical wire, everything got pulled down to the bone, but we left some of these massive wood features throughout the home behind us, and that's going to kind of give us the basis for the framing for the new home. So we're in here treating this exactly as I would a new construction, instead of more of a remodel, since there's, right, if you look behind me, this looks like a new construction. So right now we just today started our pre-wire phase, which is just going to consist of getting all of the speaker wires, our TV wires, our access points, data for our Lutron repeaters. What else? We've got a 7.4 downstairs above a fireplace, all of our Lutron wires. Every single window in this house that meets the minimum requirement of 18 at 0.69 inches is getting a shade. So we have a different drop for that in the garage, and then our head end is downstairs. But yeah, so pretty much the way we tackle this is we end up with a big pre-wire diagram that the homeowners, the builders go over, architects, designers, and approve. And then we've got kind of, I don't want to say a dumbed down, but a simplified version for the actual day of, which just has what wires are going into the house. They're picture color coded. I've got a yellow jacket checking out the plans right now. Essentially, what does the LCR soundbar include wire-wise? What is our touch screens? What's our Wi-Fi access point standard? And then we've got the floor plans dictated by wire landing. And then we also have reference pictures of where the wire should land in the studs in the home. So we go do that. And then I got here at 7:30 this morning with a can of marking spray paint, like what they use on the highway. And we went around and marked every speaker drop, every shade drop, whether it's an inside or outside mount for the shades, because that's kind of hard to dictate on a pre-wire diagram, other than that there will be a shade wire there. So TVs, access points, everything is written on the ground. They've got a reference and they've got pictures of what stud beta landed in. So just trying to get rid of any issues that could come up. And of course, we've already had about 8 wires added to the project since I started here, but we're just moving that along. So yeah, I think we take a walk around and kind of see what the layout is. This is going to be where the lines go out toward jacuzzi. We're adding speaker wire direct burial as well as network data for the control system Aqualink with the hot tub. So you may run into this in your home. This is a basement sublevel, right? So we've got 4 sides of concrete, only one open face, but that's also the outside walls. So we've got these big metal studs between the 2 floors. So there's not really a good way instead of just punching through a usable floor space upstairs to get our wires down. So I want to take you guys upstairs and show you how we got the rest of the home down to the bottom basements. All right, guys. So as promised, coming from our top 2 floors through this concrete, that'll be a base. We actually had this little nook from a false wall here, which if Zach, you step into this room, you'll get a really good look. That's where all of the infrastructure from the 2nd floor and the top floor coming through the home down to our equipment rack, which we checked our head end on the bottom floor. So really good luck to the AC guys when they come out next week, because there's not many avenues.
I want you to take us through this space and actually show some of the obstacles that your pre-wiring crew is running into, some of the things that we consider as, say, optional, but recommended. Like, just kind of go through like the average consumer and like when they reach out, what are some common questions they ask, and what are the ways that we overcome those obstacles?
Okay, well, since we're standing right here, this is a perfect example of cost-benefit analysis of a traditional wired shade system versus a wireless. So if we take a look at this, we have 12 windows here on this front face. I would have opted to do wireless here with the 10-year battery life on Lutron, or sorry, up to 10-year. I don't want to promise that. It's based on your shade. But as you can see, I've now got to get 3 wires into this insulation before the trim work goes on. That's what's laying on the ground here. We're going to tackle this tomorrow morning hard. But this is one of those where, man, I really would have gone wireless here. It would have saved a couple grand on labor, which would have offset that higher product cost for the wireless shades. And then instead of having metal boxes like they'll have here at the end, it's still going to look good. We would have just had these really clean palladium rollers. So that's one thing. Behind us here, we've got an old fireplace, as you see, that's still in, yet I'm still running wire. So all this is going to be gutted. This is going to be a gas flute. This whole wall is coming down. So that's just a guess on roughly where our wires will be. So I get a pass off, but this is one of those things. I know there's a TV there. I don't know really nothing about this space yet. So we're just landing wires.
So what is the configuration you have planned?
This space right here is just going to use a Sonos soundbar with a quad distributed audio system all the way up there, which will require a little bit of scaffolding to get to. Those are going to be the hardest wires in the house for us to reach. And we're going to land our speakers offset the stud bays just next to the cans that are open. Okay, so they're going to be able to, let's just start. What's the easiest thing to do? I open up Spotify, right? And then I'm going to hit cast, and I'm going to see every room in my house. I'm also going to see an all rooms icon. I could stop there. What they're probably going to do is use their Control4 URC Josh Savant, whatever we land on. They're going to use that interface to group all the rooms, which is essentially the same, but a little different depending on which control software. But yes, they're gonna have a tablet on the wall over there, as well as their phone app, a floater in the kitchen. And from right there, they'll be able to hit group all rooms. I just want this on the kitchen. We're going to put in our party modes, which are basically, party modes are going to be this level and the level below us, as most of the important bedrooms are on this half open floor, third concept that we have above us. You can even see our loft from right there that kind of splits up. We have 2 sitting rooms upstairs, which is pretty interesting. Both going to be spec to the 9 with speakers. And then the lighting here is probably the coolest thing. Something you may not have noticed right when Zach was painting around the spaces, there's no light switches on the walls yet. Right? Yet I'm going to have 24 cans in this room. There's not a light switch yet. So actually what we're doing is we're home running all of our lights to an access panel above the master bedroom. You want to take a walk upstairs? Okay, let's go check this out. And we're reusing all this lumber. There's some really nice lumber throughout this house. So that's being reused and refinished in the new completed home. Yeah, so we're here with our old, it's a shame this is getting thrown out. It's not the look for me, but it is pretty cool. I mean, this is solid steel work by hand. Yeah, printed leaves and everything. That was kind of the vibe. It was like half log cabin, half, like Gothic metalwork in the home originally. Oh, this is bathroom alley. We've got a bathroom, steam room, powder room back here. One of the guest masters back here in the corner, which has its own walkout deck.
You want to come and just talk about this area?
Yeah. So we've got a bathroom as well as a water closet separate. If you don't know what the terminology water closet is, that's just our toilet and sink. So there's gonna be a separate entrance. There will be a door between them, but it's nice to have those separate so both spaces are still usable at the same time. All right, so this is our first balcony here. There's not much infrastructure going on here. We will have speakers, and then we're gonna have cameras on the side, but you can see some more of this beautiful lumber work that's being maintained from the original build here, where it's actually just a cut tree as part of the foundation for the patio here. So this is actually the safest patio in the house, so I feel comfortable stepping out here. All right, guys, so in this room in particular, we're not doing a surround system. Actually, that's only reserved for the common areas in this house at the discretion of the homeowner, but what we are gonna do is have in-ceiling stereo music zone, right? So that'll handle the music streaming. It'll just be called guest master, whatever. Maybe it'll be Tommy's bedroom, whoever ends up being in here. Yep, so you can see plenty of width left in case we move at the designer's request. I've got enough spare wire to make it all the way over to the other side of the room if needed, just in case. Because these are still plans. But what we'll do here is we have a television, and instead of centralizing our audio, we're gonna put a hardwired Sonos ARC in here. All of our Sonos will be hardwired. If you guys aren't woke to the new updates, your system either needs to be all hardwired or all wireless. If you're experiencing issues, you probably have a combo, which I think Zach may be going through right now. But we'll put a sound bar under this television. What that'll do is allow them to send audio from this TV throughout the house, or use that as a paired music zone, which will give them sort of a multi-channel stereo, more immersive environment where the sound is coming at the bed, at the proper listening position, as well as flooding the rest of the room, as we will have a lot of high ceilings in here for sound to escape for such a small left to right floor plot in here. But yeah, so the freedom with that is we're going to be nowhere near the Sonos device count. So at any point they can add a sound bar to natively bring in the television audio to the whole home distributed audio. What they're probably going to do is take their media room, stream the game, cast that to the whole home, and then turn on the other televisions muted if needed. So as you can see, we're still not running into too many light switches. The bedrooms themselves are going to be localized light switches. So you'll see, like in the bathroom, we've got actually 2 on the wall switches here just to be useful. So this one won't be centrally located, but it will still be a part of our app. And then for everything big, guys, because we came in here, we were going to have 5, 6, 7 plate boxes. Watch the stairs there. That's called wall acne, when you have like 7 or 8 light switches in a row. How does anyone learn that, especially if you're only here a couple weeks of the year? So what we're doing instead is, Zach, are you able to catch that on camera? All those switches. So that's our crawl space above the master bedroom. And that's going to get filled out and probably have 48, 60 something light switches in it.
Let's go get enough.
Yeah. So those are going to be hidden from the house, hidden from the homeowner's viewpoint. So we don't have all these extra here. There's a door here. Yeah. So as you can see, that's where all of our RadioRA 3, which is the platform of choice for lighting here, is going to be. That's where all our actual dimmers and switches will be located. So as you can see, that's going to be coming down. It's already partially labeled, but we're going to end up with most of the light switches for the entire home there. That way we can have something like 7, 12 light loads in the great room, but only at 1 keypad. So if Zach turns around, I'm just going to walk through the wall here. Right here, this is going to be one of our keypad locations, and this is going to cover the master suite, which is everything behind me, as well as the loft. So everything they can see that's hidden up there, all the different light loads, are going to be accessible via commands on keypads throughout the home. We're stepping foot into the primary bedroom here. So this is the primary hallway. I'm going to step into the primary bath, which is going to be really nice and spacious. We're going to have a tub, a shower, and a toilet in here with its own door so things can continue, with a his and her vanity right behind Zach. And of course, these are going to have shades. Something I do want to point out, guys, I've just been not getting into homes early enough because you guys wait too long to call me. The correct solution for a high moisture environment like this is not a shade. It's contact frosted glass, which we can throw some B-roll up of, but that's the cool thing where you get to pick the transparency level of it. And we never have to worry about the fabric being dealt with high moisture, or a window blown open in the bathroom and then the shade get knocked out of line. So I'm really big on front entrances and bathrooms switching to frosted glass over shades. So this is the good stuff, guys. This is our Lutron green. This is our communication and wire. So there's 4 wires in here. We're going to have 2 18 gauge for power and 2 23 gauge wires for communication. So it's like a hybrid between an audio wire and a network cable wire. And it's going to allow us to use Lutron, or really any other vendor on the market, because everyone yields to Lutron. So every window in the home that's over our minimum of 17¼ inch for a wired motor are going to have one of these. And if not, then we'll end up putting frosted glass everywhere else. So that's that bundle. And above Zach's head, he can see a massive junction in the house for data, coax, and speaker wire also traveling through the ceiling of the space. So as you can see, we've been here about a day and a half now, and we've pulled, I think, 120 something wires. We are cruising, guys. So now we're going to step back into the master closet. So this is where we're going to hide our access point, our Lutron repeater, something to make all the magic happen. And even now that we're getting a plywood sheeting up there, I'm going to have that stuff into the ceiling, so it won't even be visible from the space. And what is this, guys? This is our conduit in case anything changes in the future. In case anything changes, I can get a wire all the way through the house. You guys have seen those tools. They're pretty wicked. And actually, this was the office, but is now, as of this week when we showed up, this is now the master bedroom. So we're going to have our bed here, distributed audio in the ceilings, on the flanks. That way they get a really nice image right at the bed. So you guys can see these bundles hanging down. Those will end up in the center of the studs, matching those cans, the spacing on them perfectly. And now I ran into one of the biggest problems. Well, the master bedroom had to have a TV. They didn't want the bed here. They want the bed there. That's a really easy wall for a TV. This is not. So as you can see, I've left about 20 feet of stub. We've got 2 Cat 6As and a coax in here. What we're going to do is put a future automation TV lift. So yeah, we're selling furniture now. So we're going to put in a big, nice piece of furniture, and they'll have a really nice Lutron shade, blackout that'll drop, and our TV's going to come out of the ground here. Now, something else we floated here, which the electricians beat me here, we couldn't do, is one of the future automation ones that's like a false ceiling. And we raise these studs a little bit, and then the TV would drop off of this tapered ceiling and down into viewing position. So that one takes up a lot less space in the room, but we would have ran into a conflict with lighting. So ground raising cabinet we are doing. So what you do is you hide that into the ceiling, and then it gets that TNG or panelized wood look, whatever you're doing out there. And then when you're outside, it's not taking up 65 inches on the patio. When you want it, then the TV drops down from the ceiling and you're good to go. So as you can see, localized control, we're still gonna have a keypad here, but we did give every bedroom light load its own individual control in the house, just for ease of use, especially with how much these properties are used for rentals guests. All right, so we're coming back through our hallway from the sleeping area into what was originally our master bedroom in the plans, but as of this week, switched into our sitting room. So we're gonna have some really nice furniture here. Same thing, we're gonna have a television there with the Sonos soundbar, as well as sort of our, as you guys can see, there's not much room to do anything crazy because the drywall is going to be above these pieces of lumber, not below them. That sounds counterintuitive, right? So for me to do a surround sound here, a proper rear, I would have been buried behind this wood beam and it would have sounded terrible. So for this room as well, we're doing distributed audio speakers, firing back into the room, just kind of give you some nice little image here. And then the focus will be the audio coming from the Arc Ultra in the middle. We're gonna have a touchscreen right in that hallway. So this room's gonna be pretty tech light inside of it. They're gonna just have a remote and 3 light switches. So, and now this place right behind me, back pedal. Now we're in the office. This is gonna be glass doors. So this wood framing is leaving. And then we're gonna have a workbench here. We're adding a data port in the ground as well as in the back wall here. And actually we're above the garage right now if you poke into here, which is where our guys are in getting our cameras through to the front of the property. So pretty cool little office, very isolated. It's gonna be a big desk, almost no furniture. And he'll be looking out at his view as well as his sitting room. You know that TV is gonna be on an articulating mount. We got glass door, we're just gonna use the TV in there. And then the last thing in the master here, man, I love it. Like that's gonna be present in the new home from when this house was built in the 80s. That's gonna be really pretty. That's gonna be repolished and all the drywall will meet up there. Shout out the drywall crew, this looks brutal. Yeah, but all this lumber that's below the newer 2x4s is gonna be visible in the final home here. And then we're out onto our double wide master patio. So here, we were considering, now I had planned speaker in corner here. My problem with that is we like them big Focal OD8s because Zach and I like to bump music outside. We don't like little speakers that don't project. If we had put the speaker there, guys, if Zach follows and looks across the way, we'd be firing right at their neighbor's grill deck. So we called an audible in the field now that I've been on site, and we're doing both of our speakers up here on this back wall. This is all getting resited. You can see we took out a semicircle window, and we'll be able to put our PA speakers pointed down. What that will do will give them the freedom of privacy, where every time they turn on their master bedroom speakers, the neighbor isn't complaining about noise because I'm not firing the meat of the speaker right at somebody else's grill deck. Be careful out here, don't come towards the edge. So if we come out here, this is kind of a cool view angle. You can see our great patio down there, which is going to have 4 OD8s across the back, as well as an outdoor TV and an outdoor access point. Now, even further down, you can see the platform for our jacuzzi going in, which we're getting direct burial wire in today for. And I've teased this at another build, but one of our partners, Breck Metalworks, is on this job doing a lot of that ironwork restoration in there. So they're going to go ahead and build us custom speaker stands to come up and drop the audio right into the jacuzzi. Because what's going to happen, guys, is they're going to have 8 speakers all together back here at the end of the day. But when you turn on the bubbles in your jacuzzi, it's going to crank the dB right next to you in your face. You're not going to hear any music, or you're going to have to make it unbearably loud for everyone else, for the speakers under us to make it out to there. So we're going to go out into the forest, past the jacuzzi, come up on custom metal stands, and backfire down right at the center of the jacuzzi. That way they can actually enjoy music while in the jacuzzi. It just doesn't work the other way. You're almost better off putting a JBL clip on the side of the jacuzzi. So as I said, that we had a master bed or primary bedroom loft. This is our general sitting loft. We'll just have distributed audio and some shades. No television up here. If Zach turns around, we've got this gorgeous open view to these 12 windows. I mean, this whole side of the house is basically a window. As well as we can see almost all the way to the dining, the kitchen table on the far side of the kitchen, as well as, well, once this is drywall, just to the stairs. That's kind of our breakdown of upstairs. We've got a primary and a guest primary, as well as all the goods in the primary and our sitting loft. We are in our great room, not the center of AV in the house, but the center of camaraderie and living in the home, right? So we're going high end here, but not overbearing on the technology. We're gonna have a TV with the sound bar. We're gonna have our separate distributed audio in the ceilings. I'd point to them, but they're 25 feet up. We'll show you guys some in the kitchen, what that looks like. And then each one of these 12 windows right here, as well as these additional side windows, are in line for shades. So we're gonna have shades, and guys, full lighting control down to 1%, dimming. And because we're just doing keypad access, the homeowners are trusting me not to do this is the chandelier, this is the great cans, here's the entry cans. I'm gonna go really high end. We're doing 4 button everywhere. We're gonna do energize, relax, shades, and then an up down dial button, right? So when we hit energize, we're really gonna brighten up the space, make sure everything's visible. For instance, our dining room will say clean. The dining and kitchen will say clean, because when you really want something bright there, you're cleaning or prepping. Some people call it the food prep light. And then the other is going to be dine, which will be the same as our relax everywhere throughout the home. So we're going with, you don't have to know what lights you're doing. You don't have to know what you're doing. You're going to hit relax. The shades are going to drop. We're going to have low lit levels in here. They'll hit energize. It's going to let all the light in. If it's day, if it's night, it'll leave the shades down. And then it's just going to brighten up the space. And I mean, I'm just not setting every light at 100. We're going to come in here and spend like 12 hours at night after this whole home's done and just tune every chandelier to the can, to the pendants, and make sure everything is correct and looks right. Because you guys may know, if you turn on every light in your house to 100, almost none of them look the same unless they're the exact same Kelvin and the exact same fixture. So that's what I'll be doing here as your programmer, lighting designer, is balancing all that. As we come into the dining room, you can actually see some of these wires landed. So we've got speaker wires over my head here. This is our outdoor access point that hasn't been punched out quite yet, which is that double loom of Cat 6A. And then you can see one of our Lutron shade wires. This one is not going in the windowsill, guys, because this beautiful sliding glass door would smash our roller. So these 2 windows, the shade harness is actually gonna be right above the door, kind of where that kink is. And that's where our motorized shade will go in. Every other window in the house that can get the shade inside of the window frame will, but doors present problems sometimes. And then a lot of the same stuff going over here. This is the kitchen. There's a kitchen sitting nook. We've got our speaker wires. And as you guys can see, that's the brain for all of the Lutron wired shades in the home right there. So let's take a look at that. So this is actually gonna be behind the refrigerator. So we're getting all this infrastructure in now. Here's a good look at this bundle. So I think it's 50 something windows. And that's coming out right here into our garage right now. And what I'll do is this whole electrical panel is being replaced. So I'm gonna put in a 30 pack and a 10 pack shade panel cut this out. It's going to go flush mounted, and then all of our wiring will go in there. We're going to black plate it so it won't be visible, screw it down. And this is where all the brain power for all the shades will be. This is what provides them power and communication. And all I have to get is one network cable to these Lutron panels to power the whole shebang. We'll show you the head end as we make our way downstairs. All right, guys, so we're leaving the mud room and we're going to head downstairs and show you guys our little hybrid media room. You wouldn't believe it. They wanted the head end for all the infrastructure in the home to be under this staircase. So obviously that didn't work out. That's where all of our very high voltage, but mostly our water infrastructure is going to be. So Zach showed you guys where those remote located switches were earlier. That'll be where the air conditioning is. We're putting air conditioning in this home, but yeah, we're going to have boilers, heaters, the floor. We're pouring gypcrete and glycerol. So yeah, that was originally our head end, which would have been very accessible for me. So we're not doing that.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Oh yeah. So we've just got some electrical as well as plumbing. Radon, you can see them pumping outside. This is our laundry room. So washer, dryer, right? And I don't know if they're doing dueling washer dryers or what, but I do not believe this is a powder room.
Probably. Most of these homes have, at least.
Well, I think the powder room is next. Here's the bathroom. So this is probably our just laundry in general, these two spaces here. This may be the old infrastructure, honestly, and this is probably the new washer and dryer layout. So
With a wet.
Yep. So we're pulling that all out. Yep. Yes. Yeah, so this is our family room or our media room. So in here, we're gonna have a 7.4.4. We're gonna have two in-wall subs, subwoofer. So we ran into an issue today where they came and they removed, we had high voltage through here. So they pulled all that. And then I commandeered their holes that they had a high voltage leg running into this room. But we're gonna have an in-wall sub here, two 12-inch drivers, or sorry, two 8s. We're gonna have an RBH LCR soundbar under here, big boy, custom. We're gonna wait till the TV is picked, and then we're gonna need our soundbar perfectly cut to match the exact dimensions of the TV. That way you don't have a TV here, but a soundbar that's this way or the other way around and it looks wrong. This is also gonna have a gas fireplace, which is why we don't have a television picked out yet. And this will be dueling gas fire stations. Yep, so that's our wire bundle for the television. Drop. And then we have a second one coming in, and that's because we have dual TVs and dual gas fireplaces on either sides of the wall here. This fireplace will land right there. And in this back bedroom here, our fireplace will be right here with another television here. So gonna be kind of easy for us and hard for us at the same time. Since it's double framed, we're gonna be totally okay hanging TV mounts on opposite sides of the wall, same stud. Because we're only using 3.5-inch lugs on a 3.5-inch piece of wood. Super simple here. This is a pretty deep window frame. So obviously our shade wire is landed in the window. And that's just gonna be for our powered shade. And of course, because it's a Dreamedia house, every bedroom has a stereo zone of distributed audio. All we have here is a closet and a bathroom on the far side of the studs here. So nothing besides smart lighting that we're specifying back there. But sorry, we got off on a tangent. But yeah, so we have subwoofer, TV, We have 3 14-2 wires coming for discrete LCR on our soundbar. We've got our 2 outmosts overhead, just wide of the couch position, right? So there's kind of, it seems like there's kind of a lot of space from the soundbar to the seating position, but you really want the overhead Atmos to be overhead. And then our rears are going to close out the space here. So we'll have 2 rears. And then we have another in-wall sub back here in that stud bay.
Kind of corner loaded.
Yep.
Space.
Yep. And this is, guys, this is something that can totally happen when you're building your home. You just got to work around it. So as you guys can see, I've got sub painted and marked, but we still ran plumbing through here and we still added extra framing. So now I'm going to jump over a stud bay. And unfortunately, this sub, the bottom of the sub is going to start about here instead of at ground level. All right, so the configuration of this room is, oh, I said 7.4. This is going to be a 7.4.2. My bad there. We only have 2 Atmos in this rig, but we are going to have 4 sub drivers, each with their own amp. And what we're doing, guys, instead of dropping like your classic active subwoofer, which is that big square box that sits in the room and takes up 2 or 3 feet, right? And then it needs a wall port and an audio cable. What we're doing here is just running high quality speaker wire, just like you would do an in-ceiling speaker. And we're gonna have a sub amplifier in our computer rack over yonder, which I'll show you. And then we're just sending the signal and power across the speaker wire to a sub that's flush mounted in the wall. So this is the only speaker that's gonna be in the room is our sound bar that's gonna be custom matched to our television. Everything else is gonna be recessed and it's gonna slap in here, guys. We've got our 4 windows here, which that window looks pretty small, right? We're actually within a 1/4 inch of the smallest custom motorized shade you can drop. So these are going to be custom ordered with only a 1/4 inch of play for paint and finish here to still get a powered motorized hardwired shade into this receptacle. So if you're floating wireless shades, 24 is about your cutoff. If you're doing a wired shade, you can get down to 17.25 inches. Any lower than that, and there's we've run out of space to put the motor to control said shade, right? So it's more of like a motor issue than it is a window size issue. But yes, these will be custom ordered. They're just within a 1/4 inch. I got so lucky on the window choice there. So this is our dining space. We will have distributed audio speakers on either side. I guess let's just run back there anyway. He's gonna be working here the rest of the day. All right, it's gonna be loud, but we're gonna go to our head end for infrastructure in the home. Can I get by you, boss? Thank you. All right, so this is a bedroom, guys, but we're also, this is where the old water infrastructure used to be coming into the home, but this is now going to be our AV closet. So as you can see, some of our wires have made it to our final head end location everywhere. When we started, this false wall wasn't here on Friday. It's getting cold in Colorado, guys. But as you can see, this false wall is going to be really nice. We're going to end up putting a big brush plate, almost like an AC vent, if you're from a place that does HVAC. And then all of our wires are going to come out there, and we're going to have our Dreamedia FS rack right here. It's going to be pretty tight. But as you can see, these are the rest of the wires so far destined for the head end. And you can check the slack. All of these are labeled. The only thing I don't do that I see some companies do with pre-wires is color code my data and audio wires. I just label them. Otherwise, you're toning them anyway. If they're all colored purple, there's a purple wire in every room. So yeah, this is going to make the jump across the back of this wall here. And then we'll have, man, enough copper to probably buy another home. Landed right there pretty soon. So yeah, this is our head end. It's gonna be a nice closet. We're gonna have ventilation. We're gonna have a solid wood door here and ventilation behind me because the LEDs wouldn't do too well when there's a bed right there. But yeah, there's gonna be a door here. That door will then open and our rack will be able to slide out 6 feet into this space for easy access. So yes, the wire is gonna be cut to length within reason of service. So we're gonna have a big quad U, which U is how they measure spacing on a rack. Every 2 every 3 holes is considered a U. So we'll have a big shelf on the bottom that will have a bunch of this wire spooled in. So yeah, we try and do that. Every rack needs to be super accessible. So it does look like there's a crazy amount of wire here, but yeah, you can't make it longer once you cut it. So, and of course, distributed audio in the ceilings. This is the last, this floor may not have seen flushed out wired. So we've been here for a day and 6 hours now. We've got the second floor done, the top floor done, and pretty much this is the last floor, as well as punching in our final locations tomorrow. So most of the wires in the house, guys. It's just over there. So without further ado, that's kind of the inside of this crib, outside of the bedroom, the bathroom for this space, which again, just lightings. There's no windows because it's up against a concrete foundation, which if you guys didn't understand kind of the layout, to give you a little better description of Zach's drone video, this was carved out of the mountain. That's why there's a big retaining wall here. So if you look out there, you don't see a ground because it's dropping off to a feeder stream for the Blue River, which we should be able to see in here once we get outside. But yeah, so this whole hill looked like this. And then the building company came, bop, bop. And that's why we have a concrete wall on this side in this basement, which is also how we got past the 2-story limit by the government, guys, is because one of these floors is underground. Hey guys, so we're coming out to the lower level, right outside of our media room patio. So here we're gonna have, of course, distributed audio PAs. This is gonna be concreted, tiled, be like a secondary grill deck back here. As you guys can see, we're keeping this original stone wall. They are gonna come in and, those aren't cracks, guys, that's wire run. That holds the stones temporarily. That's gonna be cut off, but that stone is not cracked. Probably looks like it on camera. Yeah. So down here, we're gonna have our fire pit and our jacuzzi. And then where is it? Over there, if you take a look at the gravel, that's gonna be the kids' playground. So there's gonna be a little pop-up play kit for them with the slide and stuff, as well as a turfed dog area back here that's covered for the winter for their tiny puppy project. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for that brief tour of this pre-wire that's going to include an 18-zone stereo distributed audio system, a 7.4.2 theater media room hybrid, much in the aspect of how all these Colorado movie theaters are up here in the high Rockies. We're gonna have enterprise-grade network, enterprise-grade security, the same security system that is clearance for the White House, so we're not messing around here. Security first, including our doorbells, garage locks, door locks, you name it. We're gonna have 8 televisions, so 8 video zones. One of those is the movie room. The rest of them are in sitting lofts, in bedrooms. Every big room at least has an LCR to fill the space. Even if we walked into the double high great room with 20 foots with nowhere to put the rears. So we're just working past problems here. But yeah, guys, we don't know the control system yet, but I will figure it out soon. It's gonna be something cool. We already have over 100 loads of Lutron in the home. We have 40 something shades approved in the budget already, but I've run 56 wires. So we'll see how many shades we end up with. It's gonna be a stinger. And I know you guys can't see right now because the brush is so thick, but they own back to the river here. And we have a feeder stream for the Blue River that turns into the Colorado River, where it doesn't really matter which side of the US you're on, you're probably getting your drinking water at some point from that feeder stream back there. So, all right, guys, so Zach called me on something and I said, here's the infrastructure. We don't have a control system. We did specify Lutron for lighting and shades, right? But we didn't flag URC, Control 4, Savant, Josh AI. Why? Most dealerships you call are gonna say, Control 4 is the only one that works. That's what we do, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter what control system you pick at the end. It's like picking a paint color for the car, really. It's like what experience you want, but the infrastructure, the technology is the same. So what we're doing here is taking care of our infrastructure, what actually matters. Our speakers, our network cables, enterprise grade network, the security system, our lights, everything, all of our components. All the control system is the top hat you put onto the home to let you open up one app on your phone to do it all. But these subsystems have to work and be quality in and of themselves first before the control system matters. So what we're gonna do is now that we've got all the pre-wire done, as we start getting into product specifications, we already know our speakers, we already know our lights, we already know our shades, we haven't picked a fabric material yet, but that's where we're gonna go through our discovery phase with our clients of this property and basically drop them into the different software worlds and see which one speaks to them, and then we'll bring that to life in their home. So whether that's something that's rock solid, simple, nice dark interface like URC, all the way up to I don't ever want to touch the light switches even though I bought them, we'll do full voice control through Josh. So that's really a homeowner by homeowner decision. There's no best control system on the market. If you're being told that, you're being lied to. So depending on your skill with tech and how you use natively in your life, that is how we discover the top hat or control system we pick at the end of one of these homes, guys.
Thanks, Chace, for giving us the rundown of this incredible property. This truly is going to be a party house. If you guys would like us to do something like this in your home, reach out today for a free video consultation. Dreamedia would love the opportunity to potentially sign you up for our Dreamedia Plus program. We'll qualify you and see if you're a good fit. But on our Dreamedia Plus program, we go above and beyond for properties like this to deliver full-blown schematics and system designs for every single wire throughout your smart home, including things like sightline, seating chart, screen size, projections for your home theater, as well as providing renderings and 3D animations per request. We're going above and beyond, guys, trying to raise the industry standard, and we'd love the opportunity to earn your business. I hope you found some inspiration in today's video. Till next time, this is Zach with Dreamedia Home Theater. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.